Good evening. Welcome to Election Night 2020. Tonight we have the incumbent president, Donald Trump, running with Mike Pence, the incumbent vice president, as his running mate, versus Chris Murphy, the senator from the great state of Connecticut, running with Sherrod Brown, the senator from the state of Ohio, as his running mate. Let's look through some media predictions. CNN gives Chris Murphy the projected win with 347 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 191. MSNBC gives Chris Murphy 395 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 143. Fox News, a skew off from the regular maps from other news sources, gives Donald Trump the victory with 363 electoral votes to Chris Murphy's 175. And CBS News, us, of course, gives Chris Murphy 279 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 259. The national average puts Murphy ahead at +1. Remember, we started polling in the early 2017 area just to see where the country stood on this point. The undecided vote was very high. As of October 2020, Murphy leads by 1%. Out of the state of Florida, Trump is ahead by 4% in current polling, 29 electoral votes, hotly contested state. Out of the state of Georgia, a safe Trump state this election season with their 16 electoral votes, +10 for him. Out of the state of Michigan, Chris Murphy leads by 3%, a Trump state from 2016 according to polling. And the state of Wisconsin, another Trump state that we have polling in, Murphy leads by 5. And we now have our first batch of poll closings from the states of Kentucky, South Carolina, Georgia, Indiana, Vermont, and Virginia. Out of the state of Vermont, Chris Murphy is the projected winner with 3 electoral votes. Out of the state of South Carolina, Donald Trump will carry their 9 electoral votes. Donald Trump will carry Georgia's 16 electoral votes, a much earlier call than in 2016. Out of the state of Indiana, Vice President Mike Pence's home state, 11 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will also pick up Kentucky's 8 electoral votes, Mitch McConnell's home state. And out of the state of Virginia, it is too close to call. Chris Murphy leads by 1%. And on the current electoral map, Donald Trump is ahead at 44 electoral votes to Chris Murphy's 3. It is now 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have now 3 new states. Out of the state of North Carolina, a very early call for a swing state as big as itself. 15 electoral votes, previously a swing state, now being called at poll closing time. Donald Trump the projected winner. Out of the state of West Virginia, 5 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. And out of the state of Ohio, it is too close to call. Chris Murphy's running mate, Sherrod Brown's home state, 50% for Chris Murphy and 49% for Donald Trump. And on the current electoral map, Donald Trump is at 64 electoral votes to Chris Murphy's 3. It is now 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and all the states on the left, their polls have closed. Out of the state of Illinois, Chris Murphy is the projected winner with 20 electoral votes. Chris Murphy will pick up Maryland's 10 electoral votes from the most liberal party in the United States. Out of the state of Connecticut, 7 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. Out of the state of Delaware, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Chris Murphy. Out of the state of Rhode Island, 4 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. Out of the state of Massachusetts, 11 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. Now, in the state of New Jersey, 14 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. Out of the District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. Out of the state of Maine, 1 out of their 4 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy from the 1st Congressional District. And out of the state of Mississippi, Donald Trump is a projected winner. Donald Trump will also carry Alabama's 9 electoral votes. Remember the enticing 2017 Senate special election from the state of Alabama, in which Roy Moore won by around 10%. Out of the state of Oklahoma, 7 electoral votes will go to President Trump. Donald Trump will also pick up the volunteer state's 11 electoral votes. Out of the state of Missouri, 10 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. And out of the state of Maine, 1 out of their 4 electoral votes from the 2nd Congressional District this time will go to Donald Trump. Now, in the state of Florida, it is too close to call. Chris Murphy has a lead of 1%. Out of the state of Maine, it is too close to call. At large, Donald Trump leads by 10%. Out of the state of New Hampshire, it is also too close to call. Donald Trump is in the lead. Chris Murphy not polling as well as he should in the state. Out of the state of Pennsylvania, it is too close to call. Donald Trump has a 2% lead. And on the current electoral map, Donald Trump leads at 108 electoral votes to Chris Murphy's 76. It is now time for the 8:30 p.m. poll closings. The state of Arkansas will go to President Trump at 6 electoral votes to Donald Trump's column tonight, putting him at 114 electoral votes to Chris Murphy's 76. It is now time for the 9 p.m. poll closings. We have a huge new batch of poll closings. All the states in yellow, their polls have closed. Out of the state of Texas, 38 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will also carry Kansas's 6 electoral votes. Out of the state of Nebraska, all 5 of their electoral votes are now projected to go to President Trump. Donald Trump will also carry Wyoming's 3 electoral votes. Out of the state of Louisiana, 8 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. Now, out of the state of Arizona, a much earlier call than 2016, 11 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. Out of the state of North Dakota, 3 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump, and as goes North Dakota, so does South Dakota, with their 3 electoral votes projected to go to Trump. And out of the state of New York, Chris Murphy is the projected winner of their 29 electoral votes. And out of the state of New Mexico, 5 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. And out of the state of Wisconsin, it was too close to call. Chris Murphy leads by around 100 votes. Out of the state of Minnesota, it is too close to call. Donald Trump is in the lead. Out of the state of Colorado, it's also too close to call. Donald Trump an exact tie with Chris Murphy. Out of the state of Michigan, it is too close to call. Donald Trump is in the lead by 1%. And on the current electoral map, Donald Trump leads at 191 electoral votes to Chris Murphy's 110. It is now time for the 10 p.m. poll closings from the states of Montana, Iowa, Nevada, and Utah. Out of the state of Utah, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 6 electoral votes. Donald Trump will also carry Iowa's 6 electoral votes with 34% of precincts reporting. And out of the state of Montana, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 3 electoral votes. And out of the state of Florida, a very big call for the Trump campaign. 29 electoral votes will land in the Trump column again tonight. Lead of around 100,000 votes, a huge win for the Trump campaign. And out of the state of Colorado, Chris Murphy's 1 swing state victory tonight will go to him with their 9 electoral votes. And out of the state of Nevada, it is too close to call with their 6 electoral votes at stake. Donald Trump is in a small lead. And on the current electoral map, Donald Trump shot up to 235 electoral votes to Chris Murphy's 119. We can now make state calls from the states of New Hampshire, Maine, and Ohio at 1:15 a.m. Eastern Time. From the state of New Hampshire, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 4 electoral votes. Out of the state of Maine, the Maine at-large will go to Donald Trump, giving him 3 out of their 4 electoral votes. And out of the state of Ohio, Sherrod Brown's home state did not make that much of an effect. Donald Trump will retain on their 18 electoral votes. And on the current electoral map, Donald Trump is at 259 electoral votes, 11 away from being re-elected, while Chris Murphy is behind at 119. It is now 11 p.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make calls out of 5 new states. Out of the state of Idaho, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 4 electoral votes. Out of the state of California, Chris Murphy will carry their 55 electoral votes, a huge win. Out of the state of Washington, Chris Murphy, the projected winner of their 12 electoral votes. Out of the state of Oregon, 7 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. And out of the state of Ohio, 4 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. Now we have some calls out of the state of Michigan, 16 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. Out of the state of Nevada, 6 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. And out of the state of Minnesota, 10 electoral votes will go to Chris Murphy. And on the current electoral map, Donald Trump is at 263 electoral votes to Chris Murphy's 229. The state of Wisconsin and the state of Virginia, we can now make state calls at 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Out of the state of Wisconsin, Chris Murphy is the projected winner, a flip from 2016. 10 electoral votes will land in the Democratic column. And out of the state of Virginia, it was closer than in 2016, but Chris Murphy is still expected to hold on to their 13 electoral votes. And on the current electoral map, Chris Murphy is at 252 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 263. It is now 1 a.m. Eastern Time, and we can make a call to the state of Alaska, and the state of Alaska will go to Donald Trump, 3 electoral votes. And on the current electoral map, Donald Trump is now 4 electoral votes away from being re-elected, while Chris Murphy is still behind by 18 electoral votes. It is now 1:12 a.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make a presidential call. Out of the state of Pennsylvania, Donald Trump will carry their 20 electoral votes with 99% of precincts reporting, and that means Donald Trump will be re-elected as the 45th President of the United States. Donald Trump will go on for a second term, another 4 years in the White House, with 99% of precincts reporting nationwide. Donald Trump has surpassed the 270 needed to be re-elected president at 286 electoral votes to Chris Murphy's 252. Thank you guys for watching this video, and upcoming I have some more viewer suggestions. This was a viewer suggestion. If you want to contact me personally on Twitter, go to @LTEupdates on Twitter. My Patreon is patreon.com/LTE. Call my notification squad if you're early in my videos, and click on the left to watch my most recent election night, subscribe in the center, and watch my most popular election night on the right. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.